What's up, fight fans? This is JD of Bvtv News. Y'all know I got to give y'all the latest and greatest news in the sport of boxing. And with that being said, let's talk about two queens in the sport of boxing, known as Alicia Baumgardner and Claressa Shileds. Now, first thing first, man, before we get into these two queens potentially get into the ring, let's talk about the independent test that was reported by Alicia Baumgardner and her team and has been sent to all sanctioning bodies. Now, in her last bout in 2023, it was found after the bout that she tested positive for a couple of banned substances that are known to boost testosterone, and then one particular substance was known to kind of lower estrogen levels. So she tested positive for a couple of substances. And so in the immediate aftermath of being found, guilty and, her name being smeared as a potential drug cheat in the sport of boxing, she had an independent lab take hair samples and look at her samples throughout a number of months to see if they found any of those drugs in her system. And so they did not find any substantial amount at all to say with any type of finality that she could have possibly intentionally been on steroids leading up to her bout in 2023. So right now, it's important that that is put out there, because oftentimes when a fighter pops dirty for steroids, the media outlets typically run with it and they plaster it everywhere and immediately want to make them out to be a drug cheat. And so it is at this point where Alicia Baumgardner is looking to be reinstated by a number of the sanctioning bodies, because remember, she is the undisputed champ right now at 135. So she's looking to get back in the ring and clear her name and move on and show that she doesn't need steroids at all to be the elite level fighter that she is. So it's important to note, an independent company has found that she did not test positive for any banned substances. No banned substances at all. In the follow-up after that fight, they did not find any banned substances. So at this point, it's important to highlight that, that should clear her name in the sport of boxing and allow her to move on. Now, let's get into the potential of her and Miss Claressa Shileds potentially get into a fight with each other. Now, in Claressa's last bout, she weighed in against Cornejo at about 160, right under 160. I believe it was 159.6 that Claressa Shileds weighed in. Now, in Baumgardner's last bout, she weighed in just under 135. So we have a 25-pound gap. And now, while we hear these ladies going back and forth, talking about they be willing to fight each other, it's important to know, why this is happening. This is a sport that is about making the best fights possible, getting the biggest bag. And so for me, as a fan of the sport of boxing, I do not knock Alicia Baumgardner for calling out Claressa Shileds and saying that she'd be willing to get in the ring with her. Right now, you're watching so many bouts happen that are making a lot of fighters massive money. Not to mention, what you're seeing going down over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where fighters are starting to make the biggest bags that we've ever seen in the sport of boxing for just a single bout. So with that being said, man, with Alicia Baumgardner, she's definitely looking to make the biggest fight possible. Now, the biggest thing with this fight is the question would be, could they really agree on a catch weight? You're talking about a 25-pound difference. I don't know how low Claressa Shileds is willing to go, how much weight she's willing to give up to Alicia Baumgardner to make that fight happen. But I know Alicia Baumgardner said that she is willing to go up in weight. It would just be all about, if they could really agree on a catch weight, because 25 pounds is massive. We're not talking about, 10 or 15 pounds and each fighter, giving up 5 pounds and then one moving up 5 pounds. This is a very, very vast weight difference between these two ladies. But nevertheless, man, it would be a massive fight if they could come to terms and agree and make the bout. It would be an excellent fight for boxing in general. A lot of fans will love to see Alicia Baumgardner, who is regarded as a top pound-for-pound fighter. And that Claressa Shileds is definitely top pound for pound. If you don't have her top pound for pound, you definitely got to have her in that top two, if you want to say that maybe Katie Taylor gets the edge for that. But nevertheless, these two ladies are at the pinnacle of the sport in their respective divisions, and we'll see if they can make a bout with each other or if all this back and forth is just chatter, for the sake of promoting themselves. But also you have to remember with Claressa Shileds, she does have that PFL contract that is still in the works for her. So she's really more focused right now on lining up her next PFL fight and returning to mixed martial arts. But for the right bag, Claressa Shileds would definitely step back in the ring with another female boxer at this time. But let me know what you think in the comments about if that's a realistic bout that we could see in boxing. Could we really see Alicia Baumgardner and Claressa Shileds bridge a 25-pound gap and make a massive fight for women's boxing? But let me know what you think in the comments, man. Until next time, it's JD of Bvtv News. Till next time, I'm out.